Hello and welcome back to another Pricey HD video. Today we've got another Game of the Week video, and this time it is Chelsea vs Leicester City at Stamford Bridge in the Premier League, Saturday the 15th of October 2016. Right, now that's all out of the way, let me just get started. I wanted to tell you that this is actually a game I did not simulate, but instead played against my brother, which is something that I have done in Game of the Week before, now and then, but not something I do all the time. So, this is just a one-off really, but I do like to do it now and then to spice up the Game of the Weeks. Obviously last week it was a 1-1 draw in the Game of the Week, which wasn't a bad prediction actually. In fact, I should go back and check what was the actual score in that game. I'm pretty sure it wasn't 1-1. I actually cannot remember. It's been more than a week ago now because of international break, and I can't even remember. Either way, you can clearly tell that even despite the fact that FIFA 17's CPU might have improved, the games between me and my brother aren't CPU games, so they are better and, of course, more entertaining, which is always going to be great. Tottenham 2-0, of course. Tottenham won 2-0 against Man City, so FIFA was wrong. But anyway, moving on to this game right now. We've got Chelsea vs Leicester. Now let's go through the BBC Sports statistics and see what is on the list. Right, Mark Lawrenson, who isn't exactly very good at predicting games, is saying that Chelsea will get a 2-0 win. And 10 Premier League away goals conceded by Leicester in this season so far. Chelsea have failed to win either of their Premier League meetings with Leicester last season, after winning the 6 previous top-flight encounters. That is, wow, that's just like a representation of why Leicester won the league last year. It's probably because of reasons like that, to put it in simple form. Then we've also got here, the Blues won 4-2 away to Leicester in the League Cup in 20th of September. Don't know whether you guys remember that game. It was a very interesting game indeed, but you know, it doesn't really say much about what's going to happen in the Premier League. Leicester's only winning 10 Premier League visits to Stamford Bridge came in September 2000 when Muzzy Ezzet and Stan Collymore scored. Claudio Ranieri attended that match and took over as Blues' manager the following day. Of course, Claudio Ranieri, former Chelsea manager and all. This will be Ranieri's third Premier League game against Chelsea, with each of those meetings coming against a different manager. Just a brilliant representation of Chelsea for you. Jose Mourinho, Gus Hiddink and Antonio Conte. All of them meetings, of course, coming in less than just slightly more than the season, less than 2 seasons. The Blues are vying to avoid back-to-back home. I can't call Chelsea the Blues. It just doesn't work for me. Chelsea are vying to avoid back-to-back home league defeats for the first time since 2011, when they were beaten by Arsenal in October and Liverpool in November. 8 of Chelsea's last 13 top-flight games at Stamford Bridge have ended in a draw. They've won 3 and lost 2. Diego Costa has scored 38 Premier League goals since August 2014. Only Sergio Aguero with 55 and Harry Kane with 48 have netted more in that period. Oscar's next appearance will be his 200th for the club. Wow, Oscar's been there for a very long time now, believe it or not. The Foxes have conceded 10 league goals away from home this season, the worst record in the top flight. Leicester not having the greatest of seasons, of course. I say that, but they're in 12th. Now, a few years ago, 12th in the Premier League at this point isn't bad. Last time they had the best defensive record on the road, letting in just 18... Wow. Just wow. That is unbelievable. We are a mere 7 games in and they've conceded more than half what they conceded last year. That is just fantastic. Not fantastic for Leicester, of course, but a fantastical statistic, because it's just stunning that they can go from one extreme to the other, which is sort of like what Chelsea did last season, of course. Leicester have lost just 1 of their last 5 Premier League games in London. They've won 3 and drew 1, after losing 17 and drawing 3 of the previous 20. Claudio Ranieri's side could become the first reigning top-flight champions to lose their opening 4 away games of the season since, guess who? Yes, that's right, Blackburn in 1995-96. Ranieri last took charge of a league match against Antonio Conte in March 2012, when defeat for Inter against Juventus saw him sacked the following day. Huh. Wow. Wow. Right, Leicester City, where do they stand right now? They stand in 12th in the Premier League. Chelsea, where do they stand? They stand in 7th in the Premier League. Of course, Leicester is 10 points behind the title. And Chelsea are a mere 5. But that doesn't really change anything, because Leicester aren't going to win the title this year. But the fact that they're below Watford, below West Brom, below Crystal Palace, that could be seen as surprising. But I don't think that Leicester City weren't going to do very well this year from the start. Their Champions League campaign could be fantastic this year. They look like they're en route to get through, which is just brilliant news for them. But Premier League wise, they need to get it sorted. And it's just a weird one, because after having such an anomalous season last year, it was really one of the most key things. Who is going to do well this year? How are they going to do well? Are they going to do well? Of course, they've done okay, but they've done nothing special, and they're on -3 goal difference. It's an unbelievable fate to live up to, and they've lost more games than they've won. They're not going to win the league this year, that's the simple fact. And the truth be told, I don't think they're going to do anything better than top half. And I don't mean to be pessimistic, I don't mean to be negative, but Leicester City just aren't a title-winning side. That was an anomaly. That was luck. That was heart and passion. But there was a lot of luck and there was a lot of drive. And they don't have that this year in the Premier League, with players missing like Kante, of course. And Kante will be, hopefully, I'd like to see him play against this former side and see how well he does. But to put it simply, it's just not even sunk in still that Leicester won the league last year. Genuinely. You look at the list of Premier League victors, Leicester City don't stand up against them names. It's so weird. And now people are questioning, are they... Well, they're recognised throughout the world now as a football team, and they weren't before. They were just another city in England. But now they are recognised throughout the world as a football team, but not as a football team the same way Barcelona, the same way Chelsea, the same way Man United, the same way Real Madrid are, because, of course, they aren't going to stay there. They aren't going to be that title campaign football team. They're not that name. They had a good season. That's all they've done, and it's a brilliant achievement. Don't get me wrong here. Leicester fans, well done. I applaud you to you. I loved seeing you win the league last season. It was the most satisfying thing I'd ever seen in football, apart from Blues winning the cup, of course. But that is Birmingham, that is, as I am a Birmingham fan, if you didn't know already. Go and check out my Birmingham career mode as well. That's a shameless plug just in the middle of this video. But that's my point here. Are Leicester City up to it? I don't think they are. I don't think they're one of these clubs that you expect to see in the top 4, even after a season like last season. They will just be just a Southampton-style club again now, if you know what I mean. That sort of, an Everton maybe even, sort of thing. Nothing better than that. Maybe less than that. They might even go down in a few years' time. I know that sounds a ridiculous remark, but I don't even know anymore. I just don't even know football anymore. It's so weird. Everything's changing, and well, I say everything's changing. Maybe that's an exaggeration. Not everything's changing. Of course, you still got the Man Cities, the Arsenals, the Liverpools, the Man U's up there in the top 5, top 6, top 7 if you're including Chelsea. But you know, overall, that's my point. And anyway, I did end watching. FIFA did finish 2-2 between me and my brother, although I can say we did play extra time and I did win that 4-2. But of course that doesn't matter because this is a Premier League game, so we don't count the extra time result. It was 2-2 at full time if we were to end the game there, and basically that's it. 2-2 from FIFA. What do I say? I'm going to go with a solid 1-0. I'm going to go with a 1-0 win, Chelsea. But I wouldn't put it past Leicester to finally turn it around this year away and get a 1-1. I say turn it around. 1-1 isn't exactly turning it around, is it? Anyway, I do that watching, and I will see you next time.